All right, now welcome back to the fourth video related to Node.js. Now, in the previous videos, all we've done is that we used the tool, we used the Visual Studio to create different samples of Node.js. Now, I will put these examples for you so you can download them from GitHub. Now, the purpose of Node.js is actually it's a server. Now, how do we use it and how do we run it as a server? It's simple. I have an example here called my server, and this example is just basically it is from W3 School. W3 School has excellent example related to how to use Node.js as a server, and we'll go there and take a look at some of these topics on W3 School. So what does this do? This example talks about HTTP variable var, HTTP require HTTP. Remember what is require mean? Require, it means import. So I'm importing the HTTP protocol or library in my program here. Now, HTTP says create a server. So I am actually creating the server that will handle HTTP request coming to Node.js. This HTTP server has a callback similar to what we did when we read the files. It means that it has a function. This function is waiting for a request, incoming messages, and a response for outgoing server response. I'm sending back a response. So when this is my listening code. Okay, this is my callback function, and this HTTP request server has a method in it called listen. So I have .listen, which exists in this server. So what is this doing is that this part is saying, okay, listen for any request that comes to me on this port 8080. When I get a request, I want you to do the following inside these blocks. All right. How do I send back a response? I send back the response by using the response object. How do I get data? I get data from the request object. All right. So how is this different than the other one? Well, let's try it. Let's run it and see how it works. So if I run this, it's called my server dot, and then what is it called? My server dot JavaScript. What happens? You don't see anything. Why? Because this one is running as a server. A server by nature is waiting for requests. Okay, and it is an HTTP server. So the way to interact with it is through HTTP request. And we know a browser, we have a browser, and we can issue a command on the browser to do HTTP request. Okay, so I have this, Chrome here. And the way you access it, you just simply type in localhost. For you that are not familiar with this, localhost means my machine. I'm accessing the server that is running on my machine. And remember, we said that we are running on a port, that we were listening to a particular port. The port that we're listening to is 8080, and that is typically for testing. Now, the typical request comes on port 80, and you don't need to specify it. But because we're trying to test something, we said we have our own test port, which is 8080. Now, if I hit enter, what happens? What happens is that this request goes to my server. In this case, what server is running on my machine? The server that is running on my machine is Node.js, okay? That is my server. Node is waiting and running. So here, the request came, and then I did this, and I did hello world. You can type in anything you want here. Just for example, you can say, this is a response from Node.js, okay? And let's see what happens. If you save it, Now, of course, you're gonna stop this and run it again. So even if you send the request again here, hit enter, nothing happens. Why? Because it's the same server. You have what's running on the server is the code that you had before. So you need to stop that and run it again. How do you do it? Control C, that will kill that previous server. Run it again with that file now. Now if I go back to the server and then do this, sorry, if I do that and then hit enter, now I got the response from the server. So this is quite important. This is the heart of what we will be doing later on. But you need to understand it well, okay? This is what we have. It's called HTTP. We are requiring the HTTP protocol. I'm creating a server. This server is waiting for requests. This request comes on 8080 port. When I get a request, I want you to do the following. The request will have all the information that was sent to me from the browser, the response, what I used to send back to the browser. Okay, we'll stop at this video. I know it's short. And then in the next video, I'm going to walk you through some of the examples that are on W3 schools. They are excellent examples, and you can build on these examples in your applications. Okay.